my name is Kesar and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking all about hormones and creativity. How many of you are stuck on a problem you just can't solve? Or maybe you've got a content creator's block or writer's block. Or maybe you've been thinking about a side hustle, thinking about getting it off the ground for the longest time but haven't been able to do so. If that sounds like you, in the need of a creative breakthrough, then let me tell you about one very special way that we as women can channel our inner creative genius. What if I told you that the hormones of our menstrual cycle, which ebb and flow over a 28-day period, profoundly influence the way we feel, the way we act, the way we behave, our mood? You've all heard about intuitive eating. Well, now let me tell you about intuitive living, where you are the expert of your own body and its hormonal rhythm. So in this video today, I am going to tell you how you can channel your inner creative genius according to precisely where you are in your menstrual cycle. Now, don't get me wrong, we can do whatever we want when we want, but there is research that suggests that at certain times of the month, our hormones push us into something called peak state for a certain skill set or type of activity. And founded on the science of hormone levels changing and shifting over the course of a cycle comes the concept known as cycle syncing. You might have heard of this before. Authors such as Maisie Hill and Elisa Vitti have written brilliant books on this topic. And the idea is that by tracking our cycle, we can tune into the hormonal fluctuations that are taking place over the course of the cycle, and that we can access that peak state, taking full advantage of all the changes that are happening, allowing ourselves to perform at our best. So before I dive in, the first thing that we need to be doing is tracking our cycle and our periods. And you can do this really easily by downloading one of the many apps that are out there. There's Clue, there's Flow, and all you've got to do is download this app onto your phone and just put in the dates of your last period. And very quickly the app will tell you what phase you're currently in based on the dates of your last period. Now, it takes about 3 to 4 months worth of data to get a real accurate representation, but this is a great starting point and will be useful for this discussion. So let's get into the science of hormones and how exactly they link up to creativity. Okay, so this is our menstrual cycle, which you can see up here, which typically occurs over a 28-day period. And as you can quite clearly see here, there are 4 phases that we move through every single month: menstrual, follicular, ovulation, and luteal. Now, I've outlined the basic hormonal shifts that we go through, but the one phase that I want to zone into today in relation to creativity is the follicular phase. Now, what is going on in our bodies at this time? Well, we've all got something called the pituitary gland, which is a small bean-shaped gland which is located at the base of your brain, and it secretes something called follicle stimulating hormone. And this is basically telling your ovaries to get prepared to release an egg. So what happens is several egg follicles will swell in preparation. And from the many different egg follicles that have been swelling, a dominant follicle will emerge, which will go on to release the egg into your fallopian tube. But it is this dominant follicle which triggers the rise of estrogen. And estrogen is what I want to focus on. Maisie Hill, in her brilliant book Period Power, refers to estrogen as the Beyoncé of hormones. It's confident, alluring, sensual, fertile, has the ability to pick up complex dance moves because she's great at picking up new skills. And Maisie is right to attribute these Beyoncé-like skills and characteristics to estrogen. Both Maisie and Elisa Vitti have referenced research in their books that shows that as estrogen rises during the follicular phase, it actually enhances the brain's cognitive function. This includes the ability to handle complex processing tasks. It enhances the brain's working memory capability, and it improves mental agility. Did you know that? Because a few months ago I didn't. So what does this mean? Well, it means that on the 7 to 10 days you are in your follicular phase and your estrogen is on the up, your creative juices are in full flow. Steve Jobs famously said that creativity is just connecting things. having an agile brain and an increased ability to solve complex tasks, that's exactly what you need to start connecting. So now that you know exactly when you'll be in your full creative flow, what are the types of things, the activities that you can be doing to harness all of this creative energy to make it work for you? Explore different avenues available to you. This is a time of possibility and considering all the prospects that are available to you, whether that's on a day-to-day basis or thinking more broadly. It might be a master's that you want to start, or a new job that you're considering, or that side hustle that you've been thinking about for the longest time. Now is the time to get it off the ground. Consider everything and believe that nothing is off limits to you. You don't need to 100% commit to anything. And that kind of leads nicely on to my next point. Creativity is a process and it's not an event. Carol Dweck, in her brilliant book, Mindset, The New Psychology of Success, introduces us to a concept called the growth mindset, whereby individuals with this growth mindset believe that they can continually develop their talent through hard work, good strategies for success, communication and collaboration with others, and that they tend to achieve more than those with a fixed mindset. So this is a time to really embrace new ways of thinking and working and really exercising that agile mind of yours. Book that brainstorming session with your team to explore strategies and ideas. Take that photography course if you're thinking about becoming a food photographer. Look at a challenge in your personal or professional life and reframe it in your mind as an opportunity. Because if it's an opportunity, you are more likely to engage and you're more likely to take a risk. And it doesn't matter if that risk doesn't pay off, because you've taken a chance, you've tried something new, and you will have inevitably learned something new. And you never know, you may discover abilities that you never knew you had. So use this time to flex your growth mindset, because that is part of what being creative is. And so start new projects. That business idea or side hustle that you've been wanting to get off the ground for ages, will use your increased mental agility to really set your vision and your purpose and get the project off the ground. Whether this is a new product that you want to launch, a new podcast that you want to start, a new book that you want to write, this is the time to start. And on that note, read more books. Try reading articles and books by people that you admire and use them to inspire a different approach. Warren Buffett, when asked about the key to success, turned to a stack of books and said, "Read 500 pages like this every day. That's what knowledge is. It builds up like compound interest." Now, reading 500 pages is a lot, but it literally opens up our minds to new possibilities and new ideas and concepts. And it helps us experience and analyze the world through other people's perspectives. Now, my final little tip on harnessing all of that creative energy is brainstorming, which I've already mentioned. But this is a great time to be thinking outside of the box and jotting down all of those brilliant ideas that you have. But it's also a great time to be asking questions and viewing a problem from another person's perspective. And this is why collaborating with other people is such a great idea, because you'll all arrive at a brainstorming session with your own brilliant ideas and concepts, and then you'll chuck them into this idea cauldron, this imaginary idea cauldron, and that's where the magic happens. You'll have this problem, you'll have all of these ideas, and from that you'll come up with a really innovative and creative solution, and that's exactly what brainstorming is about. So now that you know exactly when you'll be in your creative flow, and you have a few tips on how to harness all of this creative energy, use this information to make it work for you. Start by tracking your cycle using one of the many free apps that are out there, and then sync your activities and your behaviour according to which phase you're in. And the next time you're in the follicular phase, all you need to do is sit down, look inward and explore. So guys, thank you for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comments box below. I'll be uploading another video soon, talking about how we can sync our activities and behaviour according to where we are in the menstrual cycle. So if this is something that you're interested in, press subscribe and you'll be the first to know when it's released. I want to end this video with a quote from Shonda Rhimes. I absolutely love her. I think she is a brilliant writer, and this is taken from her Dartmouth commencement address, and it basically sums up how you should be approaching life in the follicular phase. Ditch the dream and be a doer, not a dreamer. Maybe you know exactly what it is you dream of being, or maybe you're paralyzed because you have no idea what your passion is. The truth is, it doesn't matter. You don't have to know. You just have to keep on moving forward. You just have to keep on doing something, seizing the next opportunity, staying open to trying something new. It doesn't have to fit your vision of the perfect job or the perfect life. Perfect is boring and dreams are not real. Just do.